feeling with chase. I'm wide awake, take me away now. 'Cause I won't go down the same old path again now. No, I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive.
Hola, amigas, amigos, Malcolm Man here. Buenos dias. December 13th, 2022. And I'm this morning in Red Deer, Alberta, having breakfast at Glenn's restaurant here in a place in Red Deer. It's a strip of, they call it Gasoline Alley, a bunch of restaurants here. Probably wondering what the hell is Malacon doing out here? Well, me and Mrs. Malacon, we're heading to Calgary and we're going for our temporary residency visa permit. So we have an appointment this morning at noon and we're both heading there right now. Just stopped here and had some breakfast and coming from Edmonton, Alberta this morning. Started the video, well, not at the house, but on the highway, on the Anthony Henday, and you'll probably see it during this video, a little clip of it. So the rest of it is going to be leaving now to Calgary and tell you how it went. Okay, I'll show you some shots from downtown at the Canada Center there. That's where our appointment is, and I'll go from there. So stick around and I'll let you know how it goes. Take care. Hasta luego. Hey, amigos, Malacon back. So yeah, I made it around downtown Calgary and right outside the Stock Exchange Tower. Our interview and appointments in the Canada Place. That's where we're going for the Mexican consulate to get our temporary residency visas. So appointments in about 15-20 minutes. We're going to head up here very shortly. Just wanted to show you downtown Calgary, Alberta. So hopefully this is all going to be nice and smooth. Got all our paperwork in order. I got Mrs. Malacon and my paperwork documents all in order. Hopefully it should be a quick transition here and get a couple of stamps and we're on our way. So yeah, when you go to these appointments, definitely make sure you look professional and clean shaven like myself, nice and pretty, and you're ready to go. Present yourself. So let's see what happens. See you very shortly. Give you the outcome. Fourth floor? Yeah. So here we go in. Probably won't be able to videotape the whole appointment, of course. Government office. So we're gonna end it right here in the elevator. Hey, amigos, Malcolm Manny here. How you doing? Well, just came out of the immigration office, the Mexican consulate, and I got her. We're all set to go. So I'll be hooking up with a facilitator down in Puerto Vallarta and finishing off the rest of the process. It's the second part of the process that needs to be done to get the green card or the temporary residency visa. So I'm going to end it right here. Stick around. I'll just show you a quick tutorial how to do everything paperwork wise. It's not very long, maybe a couple minutes, where I'll show you exactly how to go through the application process. One thing I will let you know right now is when you come to the Mexican consulate here in Calgary, and probably any other consulates in Canada or even the States, bring cash. Okay, they don't accept debit cards. Okay, so that's one little tidbit I'm going to give you right now, and I'll give you the rest in the tutorial. Hasta luego, adios, and muchas gracias. Hola amigas, amigos, Malcolm Manny here. How you doing today? Hey, just landed in Puerto Vallarta. It's December the 28th, 2022, and we just got off the plane and we're heading for our luggage and immigration. And it's gonna be the second half of our temporary residency visa. Let's see how that goes. Hola amigas, amigos, Malcolm Manny back. Hey, made it to Puerto Vallarta Airport, International Airport, and I'm just outside the arrivals, and she's a bit crazy here. Just a recap, it was about an hour wait for our luggage to come out of the receiving area, and also coming out of Edmonton was about another hour there to get the luggage put on the plane. Pain in the ass. But anyways, we're here, we're happy, and got through immigration. So just to give a recap on that, they gave us at the INM office there, they gave us 30 days to complete our second half of the permit visa application, right? So we have a facilitator lined up for January the 9th or 10th in bucerias, and we'll be meeting him in nuevovallarta at the INM office to get our green card. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll fill you in. Hasta luego, adios, and play safe, kids.
So I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. Don't you blame me? Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive.
Hey, hi baby. Hi. No food today. Sorry. Sorry. Maybe I'll come down with something after, okay? Okay? Okay, Chico? I name every dog Chico. Okay. So we're rolling here. We're in the Riviera, not yet. So amigos, Malachi man here. Let me just spin around here and have a look at me. So, just to give you a heads up, got an appointment here in the next couple hours with my facilitator in bucerias for the second half of the temporary residency visa. So we're having a pre-meeting because actually everything's happening tomorrow morning real early. One of the facilitator's colleagues, sounds like he or she's got to stand in line at the immigration office, the INM office, at I don't know, I think like midnight till the morning. It's kind of ludicrous, but that's the way things are happening right now because we're in high season and everybody's trying to get the residency. So I just talked to him this morning just to make sure our 4 p.m. meeting today is on. I did reach out to him, did connect with him. He said, yeah, we're all good to go. Me and Mrs. Malakon are going down to see him and go over a few things and pay the fee and all that, right? So I got to bring both our passports, make sure got that, some ID. And then of course the final thing was his name's Sergio Santana. I'll give you the details, link after this hold on a second, I'm just at the main road here, Decameron Road, where we're staying. Oh, let's walk this way. So yeah, so I went on talking to him. I said, so Sergio, you know, what's the fee here? So he gave me the number. I said, okay, 4 o'clock we'll be by, me and Mrs. Malakon, and you guys take Visa, MasterCard, so forth. Nope, cash only. Damn it. Not that I don't have cash, but I don't want to use up all my pesos that I brought down on this for these 2 weeks. So I'm on my way right now to the Chedraui. I got a few bank machines in there, and I gotta attempt to take some pesos out. So we'll see how that goes. I will film it. As soon as I get in there, you gotta check your bag at the counter. The Chedraui's like it's a main grocery store all around Mexico. I used it many times. Used it in Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Isla Mujeres, Los Cabos. So they're all around. So this one, Bucerias, is real close to where we're staying in our Airbnb. And yeah, so stick around, give me a few minutes. I'm almost there, and then I'll restart this. Early the next morning. Buenos dias, amigos, Malachi Manny here. How are you doing today? Well, it's about 4:30 in the morning, and just trying to complete the second half of our temporary residency permit today. And it's an early one. I'm in Nuevovallarta. Let me just stand still here. Nuevovallarta, behind the hospital here, and I'm at the immigration office, which is tucked in behind, I don't know if you can see that, these doors here, right there up those stairs. INM office. I have a facilitator that's going to be helping me complete the second half of this residency visa. He's supposed to be showing up here any minute. His name's Sergio Santana. Found him through YouTube, and yeah, hopefully we get our card today. It's a big deal. So yeah, so this is Nuevovallarta. It's about half an hour away from south from Bucerias, where we're staying. And let's see how it goes today. We were told to come in real early here because they only allow between 30 and 40 appointment numbers. So we're number 3 in the lineup. There's a few more other people there. Mrs. Malacon's here too with me. She's getting her residency. And hey, let's see how she works out, and I'll let you know in a couple hours, I guess. Well, not a couple hours on this video, but within seconds after I adios you guys, okay? So hang tough, and we'll see how she goes. I'll come in here, just came out of the temporary INM office, got my temporary residency along with Mrs. Malacon. Right in front of that building there. Got the card, got the residency card, and we're all legal. So I'm gonna do a little more of information about paperwork that's necessary right at the end of this video. Okay, so hang tough, stick with me, take care. Hey guys, just want to let you know, after we got our temporary residency cards, also happening in the same area was the Riviera Farmers Market. It was right behind the huge parking lot where we were the first thing in the morning. They have lots of big tents set up, lots of souvenirs you can buy there, textiles, lots of sampling there, and food, lots of food courts. So yeah, check it out. It happens every Tuesday, and I'll leave you the little details in one of the clips here. Hey guys, Manny here. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the vlog here. If you jumped ahead, that's fine too. So this is the tutorial portion of the video where me and Mrs. Malacon were seeking our temporary residency visa. And it started back last year, 2022, around the middle of the year. And then we really went heavy around just before December 2022. And then we finally got our residency cards in Mexico, in Bucerias, or Nuevovallarta. So this is the portion of the video that I'm going to give you a few highlights. I wrote some notes down. There's about 5 parts to it. It should only take maybe 5 minutes, some key elements to it, and maybe it can help you guys if you're interested getting your residencies, right? It all depends on which consulate you have to go to and which country you're coming from. Either like for me, it's Canada. Could be people from the States too. So everything's a little different from each consulate. From the application, well, the application should be similar right across the board, but economic solvency is an issue from consulate to consulate. So stick around, 5 parts, shouldn't take too long. Hey guys, here we go. Got to put the specs on. So the first part, what we did was, you got to make appointments. So found the web address. Actually, I'll put it right down here. I'm not going to read the whole thing out. I'll just put it on here on the bottom. Had to make 2 separate schedule appointments for me and Mrs. Malacon. There's only about 15 minutes apart. I called the consulate and they said, don't worry about it. We're not going to bring you in separately at the different times. We'll bring you in together when you're here in Calgary. So that was no issue. Also on the web page, it shows you a phone number, 1-424-309-0009. I wouldn't even bother calling that one because that was a California number. It was like a call center, and I called it a couple times, and they just said, you know what, Mr. Malacon, just go online and book the appointment. So that's what I did. So the first appointment I had was November 29th. Everything was set to go for me and Mrs. Malicon. Everything was good to go. And then I was doing a little bit more research, and I found out, and calling them too, that, for the economic solvency portion of it, I was fine with my income. And so Mrs. Malicon may, didn't quite have the income that I have, right? So no issue. They just said, you can sponsor Mrs. Malicon. Just you have to produce your wedding certificate of marriage. So I said, okay, no problem. So, I was talking to Mrs. Malicon about it, and I found it. I'm just going to show it to you. So what I found was our civil marriage certificate. Well, according to my research, that wasn't good enough. So what you actually need is your actual certificate of marriage. So I had to cancel, and I found this out, days before the November date. So I had to cancel that, and I had to go to the registry here in Alberta and purchase our marriage certificate, because I didn't want to take a chance of going down to the consulate with that civil marriage statement, because, well, they told me already they wouldn't have accepted it. Okay, so that was one big thing. You guys got to make sure, if you're going to do that, if you're sponsoring somebody, you got to have that certificate of marriage. Okay, so and the application itself was $66 each. Okay, for us, $66 Canadian cash. They don't take no credit cards or debit cards. Yeah, so once we got the official marriage certificate, to make another appointment, and that was for December 13th. So we're really getting close to our journey to Mexico. So it was luckily I was able to squeeze that in on that particular day. Yeah, so the visa application form is reprinted on one page, double-sided, properly completed and signed. Passport, a valid travel and identity document, original and photocopy of the page. So copy of your passport, right? The information on it, and containing the photo and the personal data. Original and a photocopy of the migratory document proving your legal migratory status in Canada, only for applicants who are not Canadian citizens. One photograph measuring 3.9 centimeters by 3.1 centimeters, face uncovered, no eyeglasses, front of view, in color and with a white background, and payment in fees and cash for the issuance of the visa. Yeah, so our appointment was at noon. There was a few questions, Q&As or whatever, and they're just specific things, what are you working at, what's your employment, blah, blah, blah. But the one big question was that was asked was, why do you want your temporary residency visa? So, and our answer was to become a permanent resident, and also in the future to buy a home in Mexico. So yeah, after the interview was all conducted with me and Mrs. Malicon, we went into the waiting room, and then they told us to come back in an hour, for them to process all the paperwork. It sounded like at that point everything was a go. It was just a matter of coming back, and we knew we were going to get our permits or visas, right? So when we came back, picked up our passport, permits in there. Okay, so we knew we were all good to go. Okay, part 2, making an appointment at your bank. So this is to get all your financial paperwork, stamps and so forth. So even before you even start this, or even starting to hold temporary residence visa, you got to go to the website and see that you meet the economic solvency requirements from that consulate. And it's going to be different from consulate to consulate. So before you even, start making appointments, make sure that you're covered there, right? So just read this one out. Original and photocopy investment receipts or bank statements with a bank stamp showing an average monthly balance of $76,919 Canadian dollars during the past 12 months. So that's got to be in your account on a monthly basis. Okay, original and photocopy documents showing that the applicant has employment or a pension with a monthly tax-free income of $40,615 Canadian during the past 6 months. Okay, so that's for 2023, and I'll just let you know what it was for me, because I still held on to the old one from 2022. The monthly average balance was $55,655 when I did my application. So that's a difference of just over $21,000 in 1 year. And I was told that these balances are going to be going up year to year. Okay, and then the employment or pension amounts were for 2022 was $3,399. This year, 2023, is $4,615. So that's gone up $1,276. So yeah, just seems to be going up year and year. Please take note of the following. This is kind of really important stuff too when you go to the bank. Highlight the economic solvency on every monthly statement. For joint accounts, the amount required is per applicant. Submit a letter. This is a really important one too, because I totally forgot about this when I found this one after the fact. After my bank appointment, I had to make another bank appointment to go back and get this one. Submit a letter. This is to the consulate from your financial institution per applicant. You need two letters printed on an official paper stating the full name, yourself or your wife, has the bank account, blah, 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 since, blah, 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 and is currently valid, with the original signature and stamp from that financial institution. We will not accept photocopies of the signature. The letter and bank statements must be from the same financial institution, okay? And then the consulate, we will keep the original bank statements. So, that's a really important one. So when I went, I got copies of all the stamps, with all stamps, and 12 months worth. The only thing with my investments, they couldn't stamp them, but the financial advisor gave me her business cards, and I attached those to all my investment statements. So if there was an issue at the consulate and they want to do a further investigation, they could call directly with her to the bank with her extension number. So there was no issues there at all. So that's part 2. I think that's the end of it. Let me just double check. That's it. Let's go to part 3. Okay, part 3, arriving at Puerto Vallarta, PVR. We came in through WestJet, and it was about a 5-hour flight from Edmonton, Alberta to Puerto Vallarta. And so just before you're arriving, they give out those tourist cards, those FMM cards. They don't do that anymore. Well, I know from Canada or from the Edmonton on our flight, they don't do it. They may from in the States, I'm not too sure, but that's kind of some of the information I'm hearing right now. So no FMM card, but what they do hand out is a customs declaration card. Okay, it kind of looks something like that. This one had perforated edges, so that half goes to the commissioner at the airport when you land, and they stamp it. And then when you depart, they'll have that half when you depart too, when you're coming back to your country. So the only thing is, they told us don't go into the tourist line. Okay, when at the Calgary consulate, they said do not go into the tourist line. You have to go into a separate line for temporary residents and permanent residents. Okay, and you'll see a big INM sign, which kind of looks like, I think I put one there, right there, INM. You gotta look for that sign. Okay, that's your immigration sign. So we found that when we landed in Puerto Vallarta, went in there. Those lines are a lot shorter than your regular tourist line. So I mean, within five minutes, we were boom, 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 signed, sealed, and delivered. Everything was, we were in the system. Everything was good. So yeah, and that was it. One more thing. Yeah, so they stamped the passport for 30 days. So not your regular 180, because we were seeking our temporary residency. So we had 30 days to get to an INM office in Puerto Vallarta or nuevovallarta to get the second portion of the residency completed. Yeah, so. Another thing, when you land, do not line up in the tourist line whatsoever, because I was heard watching other YouTubers that if you do, there's a chance that your whole residency could be canceled and you got to start the whole process over again. So we don't want that bullshit, right? Okay, part 4, moving along, almost done here. Make an appointment with a facilitator or a lawyer in Mexico. So you have the option of not doing that, because it does cost, but it's well worth it. And listening to other YouTubers that have done the residency visas, it's a good idea, because there could be some steps that you miss, and if you miss something, you know, at your appointment for your interview, the whole process could be shut down in a moment's notice there. So we took that route. I hired a facilitator out of bucerias, just outside of Puerto Vallarta, just north of Puerto Vallarta. That's where we're staying for vacation for 2 weeks in bucerias. And his name was Sergio Santana. We had a pre-meeting January 9th, just to go in there and just go through a couple things. And then our appointment, our actual INM office appointment meeting was on January the 10th. So we had some discussions in December with him. I was emailing him constantly of our process, you know, while we're getting our paperwork ready for the Calgary appointments. And when I did fill out the visa application, I actually scanned this and sent it to him, and he had a quick look over to make sure everything was fine. He told me, you know, everything looks good. You should be all ready for the Calgary consulate, and he was looking forward to visiting or meeting us when we landed in bucerias. So I found Sergio again on YouTube. Through another vlogger, and that's why I went with him. His videos are really full of content, good information, and that's why I picked him. The total fee with him to conduct everything, his applications, his paperwork, and also submitting the fee at the INM office was 22,000 pesos, which worked out to be about $1,600 Canadian. Okay. Yeah, so our appointment was January the 10th in bucerias. So, and then we landed on the 28th of December. So the thing is, we couldn't see Sergio a lot earlier. We were on a very tight schedule. The INM office, this was what Sergio told us, was right after Christmas, that whole week after Christmas, the INM office is closed in nuevovallarta. And then right after New Year's, it's closed also a full week. So we only had like 1 day actually to get our second half of the process completed. So, and then even so, we weren't even guaranteed that we were going to get a residency card that day on January the 10th. He even said that like there's a chance that you may be going home without your card, and you may have to fly back and to receive a card, because he couldn't courier them out to us or anything like that. So we were very fortunate. We did get our cards and everything worked out fine. Okay, here we go, part 5, last one. Nuevovallarta INM office appointment. Okay, so Sergio took care of all of that. We arrived at that office on January 10th of this year. We had to be there at 4:30 in the morning to stand in line there. So we took a cab from bucerias to nuevovallarta. That was about half an hour. We lined up at the back entrance of the doors, and we were the third in line or something like that. So it was imperative that we get there early, as suggested by Sergio and his team there at his office, because at the INM office, they only allow between 20 and 30 people that they process in 1 day. So we were easy to get in there. Sergio came by around 5 in the morning. He dropped off a couple chairs there so we could sit down and wait till the main doors opened, which was around 6 a.m. We went to the second floor and waited there till the INM, the actual office, opened around 8 o'clock in the morning. Once the doors were open, our facilitator went in and he submitted all the documents, our documents, and our fees, and then we just had to wait for a little bit. Around 11 a.m., we were both approved, but yeah, by 11 o'clock we were all approved, got our fingerprints, got our pictures taken. We didn't have to submit any passport pictures because they took the pictures of us already, and yeah, and then we just had to wait. So we went for lunch, and then we came back, and then we received our green cards. So we're all legal now. So yeah, so the residency card is good for a year, and we plan to become going back to renew our residency in early December. I'm not sure if we're going back to bucerias or going to another state or so to do it, and renew it. And we're going to renew it for 4 years, and then, you know, after that duration, we'll do get our permanent residency. So hopefully you enjoyed this portion of the tutorial, gave you some information, and helped you along. If you like this video, please subscribe, leave a comment or two, and hit that notification bell, okay? So, because I got lots more videos coming up for you guys, some funny ones. I'm gonna throw in a couple shorts too. But other than that, thanks again, and I'm gonna sign off. So, hasta luego, adios, and muchas gracias. Take care, kids.